In order to... Hi everyone, welcome back to Resident Evil 0. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the ink ribbon here in a sec, and I want to show you that if you interact with the typewriter with the ink ribbon in your possession, you are allowed to save. Without the ink ribbon, you can't record your data, and it will tell you that the typewriter needs an ink ribbon to be used. I'm going to go ahead and examine the ink ribbon. To do so, what you do is you highlight an item, you go to examine, and it'll let you look at it, and usually it gives you a little bit of extra detail. There you go. Use it on the typewriter to record your progress. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave it in this room, and I do want to examine the key. This key is our dining car key. This will give us an idea of where to go next. And so it's important to examine some of the items you pick up, like keys, because they will tell you where to go. I also wanted to look at the costumes this time around. To do so, go into the personal item and switch it over to the suitcase. And then what you want to do is actually go ahead and use the suitcase. It's taking me a minute to do it, but I'll get there eventually. There we go. Good job, Tom. Now, this first outfit we're going to look at is her current appearance as of the 2002 remake and Zero. Next one is her first costume that she had back in 1996 in the original Resident Evil, and as you can see, the update in 2002 was decently done. Next is the outfit she wore in the Arrange mode of 1997's Director's Cut. Sportswear is based on the hidden film you could develop and find in Wesker's desk in Resident Evil 2. Cheerleader is the alternate costume from the DS port of Resident Evil from 2006. Western is her alternate from the Resident Evil remake. Leather Number is her Resident Evil 0 alternate outfit. The Questionable Nurse is her alternate from 2011's 3DS Resident Evil Mercenaries. And finally, my favorite, the outfit she was to wear in the Nintendo 64 build of Resident Evil 0. I'm going to put that on because I think it looks super cool, and I'll probably wear it for a video or two before I change it out. I really like the appearance. Now, before we do move on, I do want to look at the other costume options that are in here, and that is the t-shirts. The t-shirts are only available from DLC, and we have the Zombie tee. Next, the Super Nurse tee. One of the favorites I have, Jill's Sandwiches tee. The Umbrella Training Facility t-shirt. And finally, the Shadow of Fear t-shirt. There is more, but they're only available in Japan, unfortunately. Alright, let's keep going. We're going to talk about the trivia and play the game some more. Now, in Resident Evil 0, there was... I can't find the picture at the moment, unfortunately. But there was actually a different concept for the characters. The characters were originally going to be just two civilians that were on the train at the time. This eventually did get changed to include Rebecca and Billy. They did have a very different appearance, as you can see here with Rebecca, who's wearing the prototype outfit. So, I can't believe I juked that. I'm usually really, really bad at juking zombies. This is an important area for later. I just wanted to show it off now. And anyway, since I'm talking about characters, Rebecca's character model, especially in Zero, is actually heavily influenced by the Japanese pop star Ayumi Hamasaki, who at the time of Zero's original release was actually promoting the game.
Enrico! Hello! Can you read me? Please respond.
Rebecca herself also has an interesting story that is only touched upon in the games. Sorry, I like this part. He killed as many as 23 people, and then her look, 23 people! After we just kept how many zombies that were people? Yeah. Anyways, sorry. Back to Rebecca.
Captain! Hello?
It is mentioned that she is the youngest member in STARS. In fact, she joined STARS after completing her degree in chemistry at the age of 18. So Rebecca's actually a little bit of a smarty pants. She completed her degree before most people graduate high school. Now, as I said, she did join STARS shortly after, and during that time, it is said that Richard Eichen is the one who was her mentor, kind of took her under his wing. After Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1, she did go back to Raccoon City with the rest of the surviving
It's
STARS
gonna be dangerous
members.
from here on in.
And
don't
at
we
some point
cooperate?
before Resident Evil 3
Cooperate
and
with
Resident Evil 2
you?
occurred, she did leave Raccoon City,
Listen, little
deciding
girl,
to
if you
further
haven't
pursue
noticed,
her
there's some pretty
education
freaked out things on this
in order
train.
to
And I'm
combat
the one who wanna
the
get outta here.
viruses
I don't
and
think we stand a
bioweapons that were
chance
being
being
created
alone.
in the best way she knew
You
how.
expect me to trust you, a wanted
Continuing
felon?
her
I don't need your
education
help.
until she ended
I
up
can
with a
handle this on
doctorate in
my own.
virology.
And don't call me little girl.
After receiving her degree,
All right, Miss
she
Do-It-Yourself.
became
What
a
should I
researcher, a
The name
teacher,
is
all
Rebecca
these kind of
Chambers,
like
but that's
positions,
Officer Chambers
and never
to
really
you.
joined up with a
Well then, Rebecca,
group of people like with
why don't you
the
go
president
and
like
try
Leon did,
while
or
I wait
BSAA like a lot of the STARS members did. Instead, she became a consultant for the BSAA and would go on further adventures for them. Most were not supposed to involve things like zombies and all that kind of stuff. Now, I want to show this off. I've never done this before. I actually did a little bit of editing, as you can see there, and cut it out. I didn't know she had a standing animation where she just kind of sits there and ponders stuff. But yeah, back to the Rebecca Chambers story. So yeah, she became a consultant. She did go on a couple of missions for them where she was supposed to just be basically consulting and kind of checking out some of the stuff they were looking at, and ended up involved in some big situations. These were never made into games, though they are considered canon. They were performed as plays and as a CG animated video. In fact, in the CG animated video, she became infected with one of the viruses that she was trying to combat, the A virus. She was eventually saved by her own research, but she is one of the few members of STARS who has been infected by one of the bioweapon viruses.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
This meal was to die for. This is the dining car, by the way. And this here is an enemy that I don't like at all. This is Mimicry Marcus. Unfortunately, they don't really give his name in the game. I believe it is found in a description of some of the music. But don't fight him. Run away, as you see me doing here. And when you do so, it'll go to another cutscene, and Billy will save us with his exceptional Deadeye skill and his action movie protagonist. There you go. Slow motion ability. But yes, this was our introduction to one of the enemies that we'll encounter throughout the rest of the game, Mimicry Marcus. It is often called the Leech Man, even though that title actually belongs to another monster. In Resident Evil, the Outbreak games, which were the online PS2 games, if I remember correctly, dealing with survivors trapped in Raccoon City trying to escape, there was in Outbreak File 2 a mission where you went to a hospital, and in that hospital you would encounter a Leech Man. It is thought that the leeches involved in that story and the leeches involved in this story are based off of a lot of the same research, making them very similar but also dissimilar, as the
Go and check
viruses
out the
are
first
slightly
engine car.
different.
Listen, we gotta cooperate with each other
Now-
from now on. You got that?
This will introduce us to the gimmick of this game.
Well, I don't.
Clue in, girl.
This is going
Or
to
maybe you like
introduce
being
us
one
to
bit.
the Zap
Alright.
system.
You just remember.
I like the name of it.
will
It sounds
shoot
like
you if
laser
you try
tag,
anything
but it's
funny.
not.
Fine.
It's a little
Now
more,
take these with you.
Video gamey, I guess, is
If
a
you
good way to
find
put it.
anything, give me a call.
Yeah,
All right?
this is the Zap system. We're about to get a file for it. I'm going to flip through it real quick, and it just basically says the following. Hey, you now have two players that you're going to be using at basically the same time. By using the control sticks, you can control your main character and your partner character. The partner character with the right control stick can be made to move around, and you can also look at them in the menu. You can choose whether or not they aid you or stay behind, and whether they attack when they're with you or remain passive. You can exchange items with your your partner character, and if this talks about the attributes. Rebecca is a glass wall. She takes a lot of damage, though she seems to move a little quicker, and has the ability to mix items and chemicals. Billy is our tank. He can take a lot of damage and has a lot of strength, but he's apparently a little stupid and can't mix herbs. So, that was me just kind of showing what happens when you switch characters with the triangle button, and me playing around with the 2 control sticks for fun. Going back to Rebecca. One of the things I like to do is I will exchange Rebecca's handgun with Billy's. Billy's handgun seems to have a little bit more power and a little bit more accuracy, maybe? I don't know if that's true. That's just how I feel, so it's just something I do. Now, this will show you that when you exchange items, you don't have to exchange all the items. I can give Billy just a little bit more ammo, so he's not going to be running around with just an empty handgun and a knife. But yeah, it's not really fair, the differences in the characters. Like, Rebecca's main strength is the fact that she can mix herbs and chemicals. And besides that, nothing. Billy can take damage, he can move boxes, and they can all do the same thing. There is actually a puzzle that comes up that talks about, oh, you know, you have to be under so much weight to be able to use this puzzle. Both characters can do the puzzle. Now, when I play this game, I do keep my 2 characters together as much as possible, because when they're separated, your partner character can actually come into danger and be attacked and killed without you there. They will radio for help, but if you're not quick to change, or if your player character is in danger as well already, there's not much you can do, and if either character dies, you do get a game over. Now, I'm going to go over here with Rebecca, because doing this will actually cause a situation to occur. So you want to reconnect the cable. This will allow us to enter the kitchen car, which had been locked. Remember, we got that note about the fact that you have to hit the switch on top of the 5th car to unlock the door. Yeah. This is the locked room just off to the side where we found the mimicry markers. So this is the locked room by the kitchen. I'm going to go ahead and pick a couple items up in here. And there's an important item you don't want to miss that you need to continue on, and it's this. This is the next train key that'll give us the next area we can get into. We're going to go ahead and investigate it. This is the conductor's key. There we go. Sorry, it took me a little bit to hit the button, apparently. I jumped the gun on myself, on my voiceover. The thing we want to do here, I'm going to show that we can't get out of this room, because even though it was locked from the other side, there's now something stuck in the keyhole and preventing the knob from being turned. The thing in the corner here, this is a service lift. We can call it and send items down and up from it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the key that we need to continue on in the game into the service lift and send it down for Billy to find later. And we can safely leave Rebecca in this room. This is one of the few times where your characters are separated and you don't have to worry about the trapped character here being in any danger. So what I'm going to do, like I said, is send the key down. We're going to switch over to Billy, and we're going to continue on the game as Billy next time we play. See you later.